you'll have to actually put a logo somewhere in a footer. And I'll give you the logo code. I'll give you the IMG SRC that you have to put in there. Somebody tells me what the difference is. We also do the same thing. We create the logo. Say it again. Why would Mixpanel do it that way? Do they have any inherent advantage of doing it that way? That's correct. That's correct. So, in general, what I'm trying to do with what we do is increase visibility. What they're trying to do is play on multiple games. One is that, of course, they're tracking data. So they have nothing to do on the UI, but the site says powered by Mixpanel. And the site owner is supposed to actually put it as a part of the website template so that the rest of the world sees, which is part of what we try to do, number one. But what they are also able to achieve is things like backlinks. So thousands of these websites who want Mixpanel for free would say Mixpanel logo and a link to the Mixpanel site, which is weighted 10 times more than what we're trying to do. And you can also do that. Well, technically, yes. It's the perceived value between the two tools. I wish I were a Mixpanel. I hope to become one someday. But yeah, so you could play. Mixpanel is largely analytics. Now they can claim to do a lot of other things as well. But back in those days, they never had anything on the UI. And no JavaScript to actually, or for that matter, anything to create an image SRC. But they force people to do it. So you can always figure out strategies of placing such sort of thing. Developer evangelism is for dev tools, it works at a very, very different level. You incentivize people to do certain kinds of things. Git is a great example of how to build virality into products by getting more and more people to just be a part of it. Yeah. So anyways, depending upon what your product is, this one works definitely for B2B2C.
Thanks, Avnish. So next we have Nimesh. I have huge respect for Nimesh for one simple criteria. Both of us started from non-descript cities. I from Calcutta, Nimesh from Bhopal. 34 people team, 180,000 customers. How much global, Nimesh?
Sorry?
How much global customers?
74% are from US. So less than, we have 1% from India. So rest are all global.
180,000 businesses, zero money raised. Over to you, Nimesh.
Those who don't know about Appointee, so basically Appointee is a SaaS-based online scheduling software. Appointee is an online SaaS-based scheduling software that helps businesses to start scheduling. So today you can book a movie ticket, flight ticket, train ticket online. But what about your salons, dentists, doctors, hot air balloon rides, class scheduling, gym classes, dance classes, yoga classes. So we help these all small and medium-sized businesses to start scheduling online. So how does it work? So basically what happens is a business comes on our website and there is a DIY, do-it-yourself steps for 5 steps where a business like salon would come and they would add their staff members, services and business hours. And this is how they create their account, and then we give them 2 lines of code which they have to put on their website. So once they put those codes on their website, they can start scheduling directly from their web pages, directly from their Facebook pages or through their mobile apps. So they can start scheduling directly from anywhere. So this is what basically Appointee does. So then we started, and today we have 118,000 customers, and 100% of these customers are inbound. We haven't spent any money on marketing till date. So how we did that? So we started putting powered by logo on these widgets, so that people started clicking on those links, and the direct traffic that we used to get or the direct conversion that we used to get was around 8% from these clicks. So it was not much. 8% is not much, right? So how we were able to get 118,000 businesses just from putting those widgets on those websites. So like Avnish did it, like Avnish said, these were a kind of backlinks, right? We did a small trick. We had this Google WordPress plugin, and this plugin powered by was actually basically inside the iframe code. So what we did was we changed our plugin code in 10 minutes so that the iframe, so that plugin powered by Appointee code was put below the iframe code. That did the trick. So suddenly 20,000, 25,000 websites started pointing out to Appointee saying that Appointee is the online scheduling software that we are using. So 25,000 websites started putting backlinks, and within 2 months, we were on the first page from 5th page. So today, if you search for scheduling software, it's a very competitive keyword. You search for online scheduling software. You search for any word related to scheduling, we are there. We are in top 5 in the world today.
That's awesome.
Right? So this is one trick that has worked for us, right? And then we started, we understood the power of our product. So we do approximately 20,000 appointments per day. So, and we also, a person, a salon owner would maybe sometimes take a spa booking, or a spa owner would sometimes take a haircut, right? So this is, so these 20,000 appointments were basically our assets. So we used to send appointment alerts to these customers, and we started putting links there, and we started getting 3% conversions there as well. Then we also started, then we leverage other assets like reviews, right? So reviews also acted as a channel to acquire 3% of our customers globally. So that's how today we have, 118,000 customers. So these are the 3 strategies that we have took to leverage our own assets today, and we are trying to, explore more and more things. Like a spa, we are moving towards B2C, where we feel like we can get more of the appointments booked from a similar customer in a similar area. So we are exploring those things as well for our customers today.
Some numbers, some metrics which you can share.
Yes, so I shared, 100% of our traffic is direct or referral based, organic, and 70% of our customers that we acquire today is through this widget.
Is there a gray area in acquiring backlinks in this way? As in, will Google penalize you for?
Why would they penalize? I mean, that's a scheduling software on their web page. So every page which says it's a scheduling software, it's pointing to appointee. So it doesn't mean that it's a bad link. It says that that everybody is using appointee for their scheduling needs. So this is how Google analyzes it.
How did you get your first 20,000 customers?
So we kept appointee free for 3 years initially, and we had this WordPress plugin. So from there we got our first 19,000 customers. So that was basically we created this WordPress plugin, but nobody was downloading it, right? So Facebook came up with their Facebook like button. So we created a Facebook like plugin and advertised appointee in that.
So earlier it was free. People were using it through the WordPress plugin and you advertised it on Facebook. Is that what you said?
No. We created a WordPress plugin for Facebook like.
Okay.
And Facebook, so our plugin was downloaded 20 times a day, and Facebook like plugin was downloaded 20,000 times a day.
Right. And you had your link in the Facebook like?
Yes.
One question, Nimesh. How much of this, for example, like you talked about spa owner needing a haircut, and a guy who's running a salon needing a spa, especially here you're looking at serendipity, because you're assuming this guy might need a haircut or this guy might need this. How do you sort of model this out, or at least convert it into a quantitative model, if at all there's one, to give you some predictability? Because you said about 8 to 10% customers come from this one.
So we always believed in doing things rather than predicting something. So we just because for us it was like 1 hour of jobs. We did that in the code, and then we saw where it is moving. That's it.
Fair enough. Super. So next we have Ankit from @pushup. Apart from interesting stories, he's going to share some numbers as well.
Thank you for the introduction, Pallav, and the beer earlier today. Anybody who's looking for free beer, Pallav is the guy. I'm Ankit from @pushup. We help web publishers test and optimize their ad layouts. We don't have any involvement in their ad inventory. We are not an ad network, which is what most people often confuse us with. We essentially help these publishers test and optimize their ad layout, which increases their ad revenue. So our impact is direct on the publisher's top line, and it is completely measurable. What I'm going to share today is essentially 4 experiments which we've done, growth experiments as we call them, with products. And 2 of them, I think I'll back with data, with a lot of data which we've collected and statistically significant for that. The other 2 are more as experiments or work in progress at the moment, which again I'll share, and might be good experiments which you could take back and probably see if you can implement it with your respective companies. So, of course, the first one being, of course, along our product, which is, the powered by system which we use, but we've twisted this a bit to suit into our audience and to fit into the ad delivery mechanism, which we help our publishers keep up with. So 4 models. I'll try to keep this very short, crisp. In case it's not clear, please feel free to ask as many questions as time permits. The first one is about an ad feedback model. So whenever we test and optimize these ad layouts for publishers, we put a small thumbs up and thumbs down icon right next to the ad units which are shown on these websites. So users, which are users of these customers which we have, can actually press this button and give their feedback, which is passed on to our customers, which is a great feature for our publishers because they understand how the ad layout is impacting the user experience for their users. But like on the left side for this, we have put a small ad push-up logo over there, which brings traffic back to our website. So this has been a great channel of getting traffic as well as users for us. Typically, we would get on an average basis for every activated publisher which is using this model, we're getting 3 qualified leads per month per such activated customer. So it's a great channel for qualified leads for us. I will talk more about how this converts and those ratios there. In fact, I just pulled in some data yesterday. So one thing which I was mentioning earlier as well when Pallav was asking these conversion rates was, what about these numbers? So essentially, if you look at it, these numbers are currently, based on a set of audience which is not, so this is not available system-wide. So we've not made this available to all our publishers. So we keep doing these experiments internally, and about 10% of our users or 10% of our customers have this activated right now. So basis this data which we've collected from about 10% of our audience, or sorry, 10% of our customers, we see that, we get 3 qualified leads for every activated widget customer which is presenting this on their website. Now, out of that data, we typically see that the conversion which we get is typically in about 3 months. This one user will be able to get us 1 new user. So every customer which we onboard and who has this referral working for us will be able to bring us 1 new user every 3 months. In terms of the conversion rates which we are getting, this compared to what is the average conversion ratio across all the leads which we get, it would be about this would be about 80%. So the average conversion rate which we get for across all the leads, this specific channel would have 80% efficiency. So which is great for us because for all the other channels we have to invest heavily into, whether that is paid or if it is inbound into human resources. So that is a direct integration which we have in terms of the product. The other examples which I'll share are not only just built with our product, but we've actually made different products or even bought, for that example, small products which have helped us get a lot of traction and growth. So the remaining, for example, how many of you use WordPress for your blog or see, I think there is a statistic which says the World Wide Web, 25% of the World Wide Web is WordPress, right? And there are shitloads of WordPress plugins available. How many of you use more than 5 WordPress plugins on your blog? I'm surprised because the average across the world says that it's a staggering more than 60% of active WordPress users have more than 5 plugins, right? So essentially what we did is we found there are a lot of free WordPress plugins available across the repository. You have this marketplace, WordPress marketplace, and you have a lot of free plugins available. What we did is we found out a plugin which had about 30,000 active users. Of late, WordPress has started reporting the active users instead of just the total number of downloads or installs. We reached out to this user. This was typically a college kid somewhere who had made this free plugin which is being used by 30,000 active users, who are, by the way, very good target audience for us. And we bought out this plugin for almost pennies. In fact, the cost per user, active user, was in some sense, it was not even 10 cents, right? Less than that. And the seller was extremely happy. Of course, this is something which he made in his, it was more like a part-time project. And by using this plugin, all we did so far is, just place one banner inside that plugin. And that has been giving us so many leads. And the best part is the LTV so far for these users is 2.5x of what we get on an average basis from a typical customer. Another disclaimer though, we are quite early in terms of monetization. In fact, we started monetization about 4 to 5 months ago. And in fact, monetization was a great, good thing for us as a company. We were able to hit a 6-digit ARR in less than 2.5 months without really doing, putting a lot of efforts on paid. So this plugin has of late really helped us, buying such plugins, and now our plan is to actually buy more such plugins, which is itself, it might work out to become a very scalable model as well, because there's plenty of such plugins available in the marketplace, right? Similarly, another thing which we tested and tried with is again a plugin. We made a small product which is, ad blocking statistics. So for our publishers, ad blockers are one key area of concern. They're very concerned about, the rise of ad blocking software. So we made a small plugin which helps them measure the impact of ad blocking on their websites. And again, then we use this to upsell and get them to our website. So like I said, now for this, this has been recently launched. There would not be statistically significant data for me to prove how valuable it is. But so far from what we're seeing, this is becoming great help, because we're able to upsell users from this plugin who are our audience. They come and install this plugin, see the statistics, and then we recommend them that, see, you're bothered by ad block statistics, it affects your ad revenue. Why don't you try ad layout optimization and increase your ad revenue with that, right? So this has so far been, with whatever limited numbers we've tried, this has been great help. Again, the numbers would not be statistically significant yet. So as you can see, these products in themselves, not just your core product, but even building or acquiring or different products can be a growth hack for us and have been working out well for us. The final thing is a small feature which we have built into our product, and which is again work in progress, recently went live, is basically when we optimize the publisher's ad layout, we get a lot of data about their website, which may not be relevant for a use case or a product, but we still get a lot of data. So what we've tried to do is we've tried to analyze the data in order to build a system which is proactive instead of reactive in terms of helping these publishers and going out of our way. Again, this is just an experiment right now, but what it does is it understands the page views, the revenue metrics, and all the amount of all the data which we get from their ad networks, their API integrations which we have from these ad networks, and we understand them to create certain insights such as which of their certain pages are seeing a fall in their RPM. Their RPM, by the way, means revenue per 1,000 impressions. So which of these page views are seeing a drastic fall in RPM? What are key concerns? Is there something which they should be worried about? Compliance is a big issue for such publishers, staying compliant with their